You're alive. Hey y'all, it's me, it's your girl, the glow up is. I'm excited to be able to say that I am back and in full effect. Last week there was some technical difficulties. I couldn't even get in to sign in. And this time too, it was taking a little bit of time for me to get back in, but I was glad that I even started even earlier this time because I was just like, I don't want them same problems from last week. But connection issues and everything else is good to go. And so y'all know that I get on here and we get live because this is what we do, right? The glow up is we grow to glow. That means that we get uncomfortable. We do those things, right? Um, and those things that we're not comfortable with, those things that we try to mask, those things that we try to run away from, the things that we try to hide. Um, but we know that God sees those things, right? And so it's always a beautiful thing when we can get to a place where we want to make sure that we're doing all the things that thus at the Lord, but then also too, like, and making sure that we're experiencing pure joy, right? And so today, I kind of wanted to just encourage somebody just for a few moments and encourage myself too, because I told y'all before when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to me too, right? And so God had given me a word today that was any day now, right? It's almost like suddenly things are going to happen for you, right? And so what I've been doing is literally making sure that I'm planting the seed, making sure that I'm making sure that it has all of its nutrients that it needs, right? But then also room to grow and giving myself space to grow. These last 2 weeks, this last month in itself has been a growth journey for me. Literally, I have literally cut off a lot of people because it no longer serves my purpose. It's not about me, right? Because if I paid attention to how I feel, what I know is that I can never reap all of the benefits that God has for me. I cannot allow my feelings and what I feel, right, that are attached to people. And this is a word that I cannot allow my feelings that are attached to people, right, to run my life. You get what I'm saying? And to not allow me to be able to fulfill the purpose that God has on my life. And so the truth of the matter is that I have literally said, listen, access denied and standing 10 toes down. Most of the time for me, I would literally accept the person again and continue to take and accept those same behaviors. But what I'm not going to do, right? Because we have to grow, like we have to make sure that, we're doing all of the things that we need to do, right? In order to get to that next level. And so, you can't take everybody with you. And so the thing is that you've been preparing for this. You've literally put the seed in the ground. You've literally done all of the things, right? And God says it has to reap a harvest. And it's going to be either good or it's going to be either bad. There's no in between. It's good ground, bad ground, rocky ground. You got all different types of ground, right? But I don't know about you, but listen, I am good ground. And because I know that I am good ground, I know that sometimes when people come into your life, they serve a purpose for that season. But I've been literally trying to take seasonal people with me along for the purpose that God has for me, right? It's all working together for his purpose, but it's a part of the purpose that was necessary because I allowed it. You get what I'm saying? But God gave grace throughout and he began to pluck some things and prune some things. And even though it hurt, right? It's still necessary for my growth. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I didn't get offended when God says, "Nope, we're not doing this no more because you giving me your yes." And I don't know about y'all, but listen, I don't know how many of y'all have given God your yes. How many of you have actually allow God to continue to be the author of your life because he already knows how things are going to work. He knows how things are going to be. But a lot of times, man, we can't reach our full potential because of the people that we're holding along with us. And I feel it. I can sense the freedom that I have. Not only that, but I don't have a headache. I'm mindful of all of the different things that I have going on, right? Nothing is draining me, nothing is dragging me down, nothing is pulling me down. Just the dead weight itself just feels good to not be able to actually say, hey, I have boundaries, right? I have boundaries and I need for you to respect these boundaries because where I'm going, I can't take you, right? It is okay for you to have people that you have outgrown. It is okay for you to have people that you brought along, and we should be choosing people based on who God says that we are. And a lot of times what happens is we identify with people's hurt, we identify with people's pain and trauma, and we trauma bond. And because we trauma bond, we create friendships, right? But even these friendships, right? There should be some type of levels to this thing. There should be, man, I should be going further. I should be called higher, right? I should be able to iron sharpen iron. But that's not necessarily what's happening, right? Because I'm putting more in and I'm not getting anything out. I should be putting something in and getting some type of investment, right? Even in a friendship, even in a relationship, whatever it may be, there should be something that I should be benefiting from, right? If I can deposit it into you, but you can't deposit it into me, it's kind of pointless, right? And I don't know about y'all, but listen, I want some people that's going to be able to encourage me, that's going to be able to say, hey, yes, I've been through that. That's going to be able to accept the simple fact that they're not always right. Ouch. That's an ouch moment for me because that was something that I had to come to grips with. Toya, you ain't got all the answers. You ain't always right. And guess what? That's absolutely okay. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have it all the way together. That's okay. Life is just out here life and man. But at the end of the day, man, God wants to do his big one when it comes to you. Like any day now, that harvest, that it's going to be time for you to reap that harvest, right? And I get excited about that, just knowing that God is in the neighborhood, because I've been having people that have grown with me, that have been intentional, that have a relationship with the Lord, that also are connected, right? They're literally doing the work, they're doing all the things that it is that they need, right, to get to where they want to get themselves to. But I see it all the time, right? Is that, when we don't have the ingredients that we need, right? The food does not taste right. But when you have all of those ingredients, man, and you know that when you finish baking that cake, honey, you know that cake is going to be, oh my gosh, it's going to be so good. And you know it's good too when you don't even have to put the icing on the cake. You can just eat the cake just like that. You see what I'm saying? And even to the batter tastes good because you put all of the right ingredients in it. Just say if we decided that, you know what, I'm not even gonna follow the instructions, I'm just gonna do my own thing, that cake wouldn't even taste right. Like, would the cake even rise at all? Like, this is why I say it's so important for us, right, to make sure that we're maneuvering and moving the way that God has called us to move. Right, because any day now, it's going to be time for you to get the cake right out of the oven, and God knows the timing. Like, God knows the timing. His timing is so perfect. So that's why I say any day now. Now, y'all, I just kept getting that in my spirit. And I was just like, God, I hear you. I know what you're doing. And I know, that you want to do and fulfill, right? Exactly what it is that your promises are for my life, right? But for your glory. Because at the end of the day, God wants to make sure that he can trust you with this thing, right? He wants to make sure that he can trust you with his will for your life. Like, can he trust you with his will for your life? Like, will you continuously say, yes, God, I trust you. Yes, God, I need you. Yes, God, have your way. Like, God literally wants to do his big one in our lives. So we just have to make sure that we're not the ones who's trying to be the author of our lives, because God ain't in that. God is not in our choices, right? God is not just out here just choosing for us, right? He wants us to utilize the tools that he's given us to make the right choices, right? We should be able to use our discernment, right? His discernment, to make sure that something is off here. We got to pay attention. You see what I'm saying? So just because you have literally been around people, and I say this because God blessed me with this whole thing, right? Is that for a long time for me, I have literally allowed people to stay in my life because I've known them for a long time. Just because I've known you a long time does not mean that your relationship with me is beneficial. It is no longer serving a purpose in my life. It's not doing anything but taking away. And I think that sometimes in reality, right, if we continue to cheer people on with the behaviors and they show us exactly who they are, they will continue to do exactly what it is that they've been doing all of this time. But they don't see anything wrong with it because you've never corrected it. You see what I'm saying? You've never said, I have an issue with this. Or maybe you did say it and maybe they just kept doing it and then you just kept taking them back or receiving them. Right. And I'm not telling you that it's not your job to give people grace, but that's on God at that point. Because guess what? I can't help change you. I can't help affect what it is that you're doing, right? I can't make you into anything. You have to want it, right? And God has to be able to do that. And so I have to give you right back to God. And so I leave people there. I have literally shaken the dust off of my sandals and kept it moving. You see what I'm saying? Because again, any day now, I want to be ready. I want to be prepared for this thing, right? Like, God has literally been preparing me for such a time as this. And I don't know about y'all, but listen, when my any day now happens, okay, I am going to be out here shouting. I'm already shouting because I ain't even, I already feel like I got it. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm doing all of the things that I need to do. And the crazy thing about it is, it's like when you start realizing that everything is working together for your good and for his glory, right? Things begin to change, your skin change, your mind change, right? Your body begins to change. All of these things begin to change because you alter the nervous system, right? Your nervous system is like, oh, okay, so she's not dealing with this toxic stuff no more. Huh. Interesting. Let's go ahead on and start getting ourselves together. Okay, she's not stressing that no more. Okay, wait a minute. Is she stopping this? Is she disciplining herself? Because this is the thing too. And God got me already like all the way together with this thing. Like if you can't discipline yourself in the spirit, you definitely can't discipline yourself in the flesh. Ouch. Listen, y'all, that thing hit me in my shot and I said, okay, God, you got it. I'm gonna let you be God and Toya gonna be Toya because I'm ready for my any day now. I'm ready because I know that you say that you know the plans that you have for me. Not I know the plans, right? It's a process. The plan is a whole process out here in these streets, right? The process. It's a process. The plan is a process. But God knows the final destination. And when you get to that destination, you can begin to appreciate all the things that you went through, all the heartbreaks, all the different things, all the people that you've let go of, right? And you wish them well. You don't wish no ill will on them. You wish them well. But you realize that I have outgrown that. I've outgrown that person or that version of me that you were exposed to because the reality is that what I know is, right, is that I'm no longer that, but people will try to provoke you to remind you of who you used to be. And that is on you at that point to then show them, right, the opposite. And for me, at the end of the day, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. And my whole thing is too, I'm going to respectfully tell you that I'm going to bless you, God bless you, and I'm going to move forward. And you can take it however way you want to take it. I don't care because at the end of the day, I don't have no heaven or hell to put you in. You ain't got no heaven or hell to put me in. And I got an answer to God. You see what I'm saying? I got to make sure that whatever it is that I'm doing, right, is lining up with his word. And sometimes I don't always get it right. I don't. I sure don't. I don't get it always right. But at the same time, I'm learning this process and I don't have to do it alone. And I'm just thankful that God has given me people that He surrounded me with. Okay. That God is blessing even right now that are around me. And I'm like, God, I feel you. I hear you. You are in the neighborhood. And I'm so excited for what you have for me, for your kingdom, because this ain't about me. This is not about me. Yes, do I got some more growing up to do? Yes, but you're gonna get the glory out of that too. And so I'm thankful for that, right? Um, and so that list goes right back into say any day now. So I just want to make sure that I'm encouraging somebody on today because I'm encouraging me right now in this moment, right? Is that any day now, God's promises are for being fulfilled. Like they're happening even now, even though you can't see them in the physical, they're happening in the spiritual, right? I already know that there's a shift that's happening. And sometimes y'all, God wants to see, right, what you gonna do. Are you really gonna stand firm on what it is that you know that I've already showed you because I've given you the vision? Or are you going to go out and go against what everything it is that I showed you? Right? This is what faith looks like. This is what faith in action really looks like, y'all. Because when the nitty gritty happens and things seem like everything is happening against you and not for you, right? It seems like everybody's plotting against you. Everybody want their hand in something, or things just ain't working right. Right? It begins to try to discourage you, and that's when you know that something is brewing. God, you up to something. God, I know that you see me. I know that you hear me. And I know you call me. Not only did you call me, but you chose me. So any day now, any day now. So I just want you to hold on to that, man, because that is a word on today. Any day now. And I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful for the glow up is. I'm thankful for this podcast. I'm thankful for the people who have supported this podcast. I also have some side videos that I've been doing on the dating pool in 2026. And just been talking about all of those different things too, right? And so I kind of want to be able to get on here and incorporate that into the glow up is. So I will be making sure that I put some videos up, some little shorts or whatever, so that way I can start to make sure that the people who need to see these videos are really seeing them, because it's not about me, man. It's about God. It's about growth. It's about the life called this thing called life, right? This journey that we call life. That's what the glow up is about. It's all about us growing to glow. Like we're talking about all of those things that are internal, those things that we mask, those things that we just don't feel that are worthy enough to even be called out, right? We hold each other accountable, right? Um, those things that we just don't sometimes we don't talk about. Like we talk about finances, we talk about spiritual aspects, we talk about the flesh, dealing with the flesh in itself, right? Like it is hard sometimes being in the flesh, living in this world, but yet still trying to go after God, like trying to make sure that you're trying to live your best life the way that God intended for you to have, right? And so this is not that type of podcast. This podcast is not for those people that are so saved, right? That they just can't remember that there's levels to this thing, right? Because you weren't always at the level that you're at, right? And that's a real thing. Like I have come far along, right? But I still like to cuss. God has not taken that desire away from me. And I didn't even ask God to take the desire away from me because I know that there's some things that I still have to go through, right? When it comes to that, because cussing has a stronghold over me because I've been doing it my entire life and it's in me. And so what's in must come out, right? And so I've always been transparent with that. And so even though life is life and things is happening, what I'm not going to do is say that I'm not blessed because of the things that I have gone through. My mistakes, my circumstances don't define me, right? God says, listen, who I set free is free indeed. Okay. And at the end of the day, right, there's no residue. There's nothing that's too hard for me. There's nothing that's impossible for me to do, right? And so I trust God. I'm not trust man. I trust God. And whoever God leads upon my life, and again, that's up to me to have that discernment. That discernment has to come in, right? Because when you're so connected to God, God's gonna give you the discernment. You see what I'm saying? He gonna tell you and he gonna show you who for you, who ain't for you, and everything else, right? Who's just taking up space in your life. We gotta let those people go. Those people that just been taking up space and room in your life, move them out the way and watch how God works. Like sometimes, man, we don't even realize how soul ties, all of the things, right, tie us to people. Okay. But when you get to a place where you really trust God and you really just know that God has orchestrated your life and you know that your life is going in a different direction because you know that God has something great for you, because you know that you have planted the seeds, right? That you've done all the things that you need to do according to his word and according to his purpose in your life, you know that he hasn't forgotten you and you can hold on to that any day now. Okay. But anyways, I just wanted to get on here, man, to encourage somebody, to encourage us, because that's what we do at the Glow Up is, right? We grow to glow. And I'm your auntie, I'm your pusher, I'm your friend. I tell you that all the time. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this podcast. I hope and pray that it touches you. I'll see y'all again, same time, 6 o'clock next week, p.m. Eastern time. Your girl is back, and I'm excited to be here. And so I will see y'all next week. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Bye.